Namaste all, I'm JVN Sunita Shekhawat, Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostic. Today I'm delivering this video lecture on 19th September 2023 on the topic Neuromuscular Junction. Basically, neuromuscular junction is the junction between nerve ending and muscles. As you can see in the picture, this picture contains a combination of or junction of axon endings and muscles. This one is the basically, as you can see in the picture, this one is the muscle and yellow colored one is the axon terminal. Both these components forms a junction and which is known as neuromuscular junction, right? So basically in this video lecture we discuss about the neuromuscular junction and the transmission of nerve impulse or action potential between this neuromuscular junction. So let's begin with the next slide. Definition. If we talk about the definition of neuromuscular junction, as we discussed in the previous slide, so basically it is the junction between motor nerve and skeletal muscle fiber by which the motor nerve impulse initiate muscle contraction. When an action potential reaches the muscle, it helps in the contraction of muscles and relaxation, right? So in next slides we will discuss about the structure of this neuromuscular junction. So let's discuss this. So basically this yellow portion is the axon terminal and this myofibril is the smallest and contractile unit of the muscle. Above this picture of myofibril we can see muscle nuclei and axon terminal. Axon terminal contain myelin sheet and neurolemma, and then after at the ending it contain axon terminus which help in the releasing of action potential, right? So in this picture what we talk about the myofibrils, then second one myofibril, then axon terminal, after that neurolemma and myelin sheet, right? So move to the next slide. Next slide contain the overall transmission of action potential in this neuromuscular junction, right? So we will discuss in just overview form, right? Let's see. So this portion is the area from where signal will be received. After that this signal will be proceed to the CNS with the help of these afferent transmission. So basically this area, like from here to the so from here this area is PNS while this area is CNS. So basically PNS area contain the nerves and CNS area contain the processing of these nerve signals. So from here nerve will receive the signal from any target tissue, then process it to the sensory neuron, and from here it moves to the central nervous system. Central nervous system will be help in the processing of all these signals and then move this signal with the help of motor neuron again to the target side in the form of efferent transmission. So this blue nerve is the nerve which contains signal from target cell to the CNS, while the red nerve is the nerve which contains signals from CNS to the again target area, right? So in next slides we will discuss about the overall structure of this neuromuscular junction. So basically neuromuscular junction contain, first one is skeletal muscle fiber, so basically this structure contains, first one is the skeletal muscle fiber innervated by the motor nerve, then second axon or nerve fiber divided into many terminal branches which is axon terminus. After that each terminal branch interpreted with the one muscle fiber and forms neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction contain axon terminal which also contain mitochondria and synaptic vesicles. Synaptic vesicles contain neurotransmitter. These are the chemical messenger which help in the releasing of signal After that, this synaptic vesicle contains neurotransmitters like acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is the example of a kind of neurotransmitter. Other neurotransmitters are also present like GABA. So basically there are different kinds of neurotransmitters. These help in the transmission of action potential from one neuron to muscle or neuron to neuron, right? So move to the next slide. Next slide. This slide contains complete structure of neuromuscular junction, right? So here also this yellow portion is the axon or nerve part, and this pink part is the muscle part. Right. So before we start with the actual mechanism of the neuromuscular junction, first we have to discuss about the basic structure of neuromuscular junction. So in first part, axon area is known as presynaptic membrane because it's come before the synapse, while after synapse like muscle area known as postsynaptic membrane. Between these both the membranes, some area is present. Which one is this? Is whitish color area known as synaptic cleft, right? In axon terminal we have mitochondria and synaptic vesicles. Mitochondria is for the production of energy, while synaptic vesicles are for the production of neurotransmission, right? After that there are some extensions or folds in the muscle layer which is known as subneural cleft, right? And this blue one is the area of nucleus, right? Clear? So basically we have three components. One is the presynaptic membrane, second is the synaptic cleft, and the third one is the postsynaptic membrane. These three components makes the proper structure of neuromuscular junction. So move to the next slides. Next slide shows the first part is the presynaptic membrane, which is the membrane of the nerve endings is known as presynaptic membrane. Second part is the membrane of the muscle fiber known as postsynaptic membrane. Here the receptors are present for the acetylcholine receptors. Third one is the synaptic cleft, which is the space between two membranes known as synaptic cleft. After that, synaptic cleft has some membranes known as basal lamella and enzymes for the acetylcholinesterase enzyme in the basal lamella. This is the proper structure of synaptic cleft. Next we discuss about the actual events of neuromuscular transmission. Neuromuscular transmission have 5 events. First one is the release of acetylcholine. After that, action of acetylcholine. Then development of end plate potential. Then development of miniature end plate potential. And the last one is the destruction of acetylcholine after the use. Right? These steps will lead to the actual muscle contraction due to the production of action potential in the muscle. So next slide show the actual transmission in the diagrammatic form. So if we discuss about all the points, see, first point shows the influx of calcium ions into the calcium channel in axon terminal. So this one is the axon terminal, and this green part is the calcium channel. Due to release of action potential in the axon terminal, calcium channels are open and influx of calcium started. This influx lead to the movement of the synaptic vesicle to the peripheral wall of the axon terminal. So all these synaptic vesicles move through the peripheral wall of the axon terminal and releases the neurotransmitter in the synaptic cleft. In synaptic cleft, we have receptors for the binding of acetylcholine, which is showed in the pink color. So first step will be the opening of calcium ion. Then second step shows the movement of synaptic vesicles to the peripheral wall of the axon terminal. Then third part shows the binding of acetylcholine to the acetylcholine receptors which is present on the membrane, right? So third part shows the binding of acetylcholine on the receptor molecule. After that, action potential reaches to the muscle fiber and which helps in the release of action potential. So due to binding of acetylcholine to the receptors, action potential releases, and which leads to the opening of sodium channels, right? So this leads to the movement of or influx of the sodium channels. After that, in next step we can see, like fourth step, action potential releases in new muscle fiber. Then in fifth step we can see influx of sodium ions into the muscle fiber. Next step shows this one, activation of acetylcholinesterase enzyme, then release of acetic acid and choline because of this enzyme. Then choline enters and releases these molecule, and actually binding of acetylcholine helps in the production or transmission of action potential, or you can say the end result with the muscle contraction, right? So let's discuss this in the language form, or you can say flowchart form. So just see, first part is the action potential with the help of motor nerve fiber. So when this action potential reaches the you can say axon terminal area, then here calcium channels open. After that, entering of calcium ion, which you will see in the diagram, that influx of calcium ion. Then due to influx of calcium ion, opening of vesicles and release of acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft area. So here synaptic cleft area contain now acetylcholine. After that, at postsynaptic membrane, or you can say at the membrane of muscle fiber, acetylcholine bind with the receptor. This leads to the opening of sodium channels and then influx of sodium channels from ECF to the muscle fiber. Because of entering of sodium ions into the muscle fiber, production of end plate potential, right? So from here, the action potential from presynaptic membrane reaches to the postsynaptic membrane. After this area, then in muscle fiber area, generation of action potential, and this leads to the excitation and contraction coupling, and finally to the release of muscle contraction, right? So because of action potential, here comes with the result of muscle contraction, right? So we will move to the next slide. Next slide shows the importance of end plate potential, why it is necessary to produce the end plate potential in the muscle fiber. Basically, end plate potential is non-propagative, but it causes the development of action potential in the muscle fiber, and because of development of action potential, muscle becomes contracted and helps in the movement in case of skeletal muscle, and peristaltic movements and other movements in smooth muscles, and beating of the heart in case of cardiac muscles, right? So basically we have to generate the end plate potential to contract the muscles, right? So next we move to the neuromuscular junction blockers. Some blockers are present which block this transmission between neuromuscular junction. So basically these blockers can be some drugs which prevent the transmission of impulse from nerve to the muscle fiber. Second one is the basically if you can see, these drugs are also used in case of surgery and traumas. Then these blockers can be used as anesthesia to relax the skeletal muscles at the time of surgery, to induce peristalsis so that surgery can be conducted with the less complication. So basically these drugs are help in the blockage of transmission from axon terminal to muscle, and with the result of this, muscle will not be contracted and help in the easy surgery, right? So next we move to the basically muscular system. What is the role of muscular system? Why we discussing about it? So basically muscular system role is present in overall body, like in case of skeletal muscle, smooth muscle or cardiac muscle. In case of overall body movement, then maintaining of posture, respiration, because at the time of respiration there movement of lungs, trachea, etc. Then the production of body heat, communication, because at the time of communication our mouth muscles, like which is skeletal muscles, are moving. Then constriction of organs and vessels, and last one is heartbeat in case of cardiac muscle. Next we will discuss about the different types of muscle tissue present in the body. in our body, on the basis of location, we have three different types of muscle. So first one is the skeletal muscle, then second was the smooth muscle, and last one is the cardiac muscle. So basically, skeleton muscles are attached to the bones, or skeleton system helps in the movement of the body. These tissues are multinucleate, and these nuclei are located in the peripheral area of the muscle tissue. And also these are striated. Striated means they have dark and light alternate bands, which is formed of actin and myosin. After that, they are voluntary, it means we can control these movement, and involuntary in case of special reflex actions, right? So second muscle will be the smooth muscle. Smooth muscles are present in our internal organs, blood vessels, eyes, glands, skin, etc. These are uninucleated, and then they don't have striated appearance. They are involuntary because we can't control the activity of our hollow organs, blood vessels, etc. These produce gap junctions in the case of visceral smooth muscles. After that, and last one is the cardiac muscle, which is present in the heart, have uninucleated condition, have striated, which means they contain alternate bands of light and dark bands, involuntary because we don't control the heart activity, and they have intercalated disc because of the branching appearance of cardiac muscles, right? So in this video lecture, we overall discussed about the neuromuscular junction, then transmission of action potential from nerve fiber to muscle fiber, which is a result into the muscle contraction, and different types of muscle tissue. Okay, so thank you so much.